What is up? What is up? So, my name is Emmanuel, and I'm just making this video to sort of get up to speed with where I'm at because, I've always been about growth. Um, I've been an artist for several years. Um, I have quite the history, quite the story, and I'm more just trying to navigate through the way my mind works, I guess, because that's sort of been what's been like holding me back from, you know, actually taking action for my dreams and goals instead of just sitting back and soaking in all the stuff I need to, get there eventually. So, as my mind gets better with everything I've been going through, I would say that this is a significant time in my life because I feel a lot better with my mental health. I feel like I'm living my life better, because, we all go through challenges and um, I've been a Christian for a long time. I was raised as a Christian, but I recently really made the commitment to sort of, like follow him fully. I would say it's a transition because, you know, I mean, some people have had a very big encounter where they just feel the Holy Spirit, and although that would be great for me to experience, um, I more just have been spending more time with God, building my relationship with Him, trying to be more honest. And again, with my mental health, it's been kind of like, you know, I just wasn't like able to even express myself fully and think about all these things that go into it with like being a Christian because I wasn't even living my life how I should, like in the sense of like I let myself go a couple years ago. Like I was just home all the time, just having simple conversations, still wanting to make music, still knowing my message with my music, and it's really this whole thing, right? But at the end of the day, sort of just figuring it out, because when I was young, I just had this ambition. I was very outgoing, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make music. But I had some issues at that time because although I had good intentions, like I wanted to make a good impact with good music, be an example, I really was relying on myself, just thinking that I could do it on my own. And I just think that I didn't necessarily know fully what I was doing because I mean, I had a good gut feeling. I just think that I would have had to learn a lot if I made a way into music early on. So, the thing too is like at the time, this is around 2015, around that whole time frame. The influence hip hop had was so like I don't know, the way I see it is like there was sort of this spiritual conscious community growing kind of, but and of course like Christianity was around, but and I appreciated both and I kind of stayed away from both of those. Like I got into those things, but I wasn't super deep into them. I kind of just stayed back and was like, you know what? I know myself. I know that I just want to do good, so I'm just gonna focus on what I'm doing in my life then I'll make things happen, and then I'll learn. That was just what I wanted to do is kind of just make it happen, and then later I'll figure out the rest. Again, I was pretty young. I was like 18-ish. Um, but what was I getting to? Yeah, so I think uh honestly, I wasn't making the best decisions as far as I don't know. I guess my point is my whole life just changed because I ended up being diagnosed with a mental illness at 19 years old. This is around 2016. So, it's interesting because after that happened, I still had a car, I was working, I was hanging out with some friends, and I felt fine. I felt like I was kind of thinking like, you know what? Like I don't really have issues. Like I'm just me, like, but as time went on, I think this mental illness sort of grew on me because um it just grew on me because I started to have more like scattered thoughts and I kind of lost a bit of my confidence. I started to hear voices, and whenever guests would come over at the house, like I would just, I don't know, I just felt very uncomfortable. I didn't really want to, like, I don't know, it just went downhill. I could explain everything. I think later on I'll be able to sort of sum up everything quicker because I'm kind of just thinking about the reality of what it was. Because, you know, keep in mind, this is like 2016. So I just noticed that the camera's like, anyways, like even just to make it quick, I made my first project at in 2018. 2020, things got kind of worse because I didn't want a car, wasn't really working. I just kind of stayed home more, still pursued my goals, and obviously it would have been good to just have a regular career and build my own future for real. Because at that time, like content creation got big, and but one thing I like is that now there's a lot more wisdom or whatever online. So you can just sense that more people are waking up, whichever way it may be. We're more aware, whatever. There's a lot of good Christian content out there. Um, Running out of time. But yeah, so all I wanted to say is that I'm thinking about my story, I'm figuring out sort of how to get out of this sort of trap that I've been in because it's been kind of this mental battle, just feeling very off in ways, but at the same time, God's been good. I always had support from family and friends, and I feel like I'm able to live the way that I'm living, like I accepted that I have this illness. I learned about it, and now I'm just kind of figuring it out. So I do want to be an artist. I do want to do all these things. I'm confident that I can make good songs. It's just been this process. So I'm really just saying this because it's been a while since I made a video. And at the end of the day, I just really want to do this, man. I feel like I suffered a lot and it was my own fault. Um, we all go through hard things. I just really want to be able to go out there and just be the artist I see myself being. I'm also in the business, and finding God was the greatest thing. And I feel very much so in a better place. So I'll stop that because 10 minutes are up on this TikTok app.